Hello, Joanne and Vanessa here from Plymouth Yarn to show you how to knit up a scarf using our new yarn called Joie de Vie. It is a mesh yarn with a fancy effect on one edge. The knitting directions are on the label, but with these types of yarns, it's sometimes best to learn visually. First, you're going to remove the label and the rubber band. Working the yarn from the outside of the ball, you're going to open up about a yard of the mesh. Spread it out with the effect at the bottom. We will be working in the track along the top edge. To cast on, take a size 8 needle or thereabouts, holding the needle in your right hand and folding the mesh over itself about 2 to 3 holes deep. Enter the needle through the first set of holes from the back. Wrap the needle around the back and go into the next set of holes from the back. Repeat this action until there are 7 stitches on the needle. Then turn the work and transfer the needle to your left hand. Begin knitting. Stick the right hand needle into the first stitch or track on the left hand needle. Skipping the first track hole, go into the second track hole, wrapping the mesh around the back of the needle as if you were throwing your yarn to knit. Finish the stitch in the normal fashion. Repeat this procedure for all the remaining stitches, skipping 1 track hole between each stitch. When you reach the end of the row, you're going to turn and knit the next row in the same manner. Now let's talk a little bit about a couple of things while Vanessa is continuing to knit. Regarding needles, a size 8 needle is suggested because it fits comfortably through the track holes. Your needle size doesn't affect any gauge in this yarn, so feel free to use any size needle that you personally feel comfortable with, as long as it fits through the track holes. And regarding those track holes, if you want to slightly firm up the side edge, you can knit the first set or the first stitch of every row into the first track hole, not skipping one, but do this for the first track hole only. Now, handling breaks. There shouldn't be any knots in this product, but a break in any yarn, while a low possibility can happen. To handle a break, stop knitting about 4 to 6 track holes before the break. Then holding a new piece of the yarn either in front of or behind the ending piece, overlap them about 4 to 6 holes. Then work 2 to 3 stitches with the doubled mesh, going through the front piece and through the back piece. And then you can continue with the new strand alone. This overlapping of the 2 flat pieces is far less disruptive to the flow of the scarf than a knot would be. This method is almost invisible in the final product. Now, binding off. When you come to the end of your scarf, or when you've reached your desired length, you're going to bind off as you would for most basic knitting until you come to the last stitch. To bind off, you knit 2 stitches, then flip the first stitch over the second one, and continue like that until the end of the row. when you come to the very last bound off stitch, and that's the only stitch that's left on your right hand needle, we're going to trim the working mesh, leaving maybe about 2 inches. Then Vanessa is going to push that piece of fabric through the last bound off stitch. She's going to pull up tight on it. Now you can either trim that piece further or you can sew it in place using a needle and thread. And that is how you work your scarf. We hope you'll enjoy your new scarf made out of Joie de Vie, and thank you from the Plymouth Yarn Company.